City Hall sits close to the mighty St. John River. It begins in Quebec and Maine and flows for 673 kilometres or 418 miles until it empties into the Bay of Fundy. Many First Nations peoples have used the river for travel, trade, navigation and sustenance for over 12,000 years. French and British settlers, as well as American colonists, similarly used the river over several hundred years. Today, it is mostly recreational and highly prized by New Brunswickers. Now I quote from a City of Fredericton document, quote, "With the arrival of the Loyalists at St. Anne's Point in 1783, the river became a hub of activity. The river also helped shape the layout of the City of Fredericton. In 1827, an act of the legislature established 11 public landings along Fredericton's shoreline. In order to provide access to the public landings, Fredericton streets were extended to the riverbank." End of quote. In fact, the city owns the bed of the river where it runs between the municipal boundaries. In earlier days, passenger ferries from the north side of Fredericton would dock behind the present City Hall at what was known as Middle Ferry Landing. By 1827, the ferry from Phoenix Square to St. Mary's Ferry Landing ran from sunrise to 10 o'clock at night. It carried people, freight, carriages, wagons, and animals. A steam-powered ferry began work in 1842. Then, when the highway bridge was finished in 1885, the little ferries were no longer needed. City Hall dominates Phoenix Square on the northwest corner of Queen and York Streets. It's called Phoenix because of the mythical phoenix bird that rose again from its ashes into a new life. So too has the square revitalized itself. Many fires since the early 1800s destroyed the early commercial buildings and new ones sprang up in their place. Early City Hall days showed much commercial activity and many public events in the square. Scan through lots of images on the website to see all the activity. The present City Hall building was ready for use by 1876. It had a community market in the basement and the council chamber and offices on the first floor. But its main feature was the Opera House on the second floor. It held about 800 people and was the city's popular entertainment center for over 50 years. Many famous actors and performers from around the world arrived to thrill local audiences. Today, Fredericton City Hall is a registered National Historic Site. The clock in the City Hall Tower is well worth a look. It was built by a well-known company in England and dates from 1878. It struck the bells for the first time in 1879. Then, about 130 years later, the clock was sent away to be expertly restored. After almost a year of restoration, it began ticking again in June of 2009. You can see all its wonderful inner workings inside the City Hall front area and up the stairs by the council chamber. In front of City Hall is the popular fountain with Freddie the nude dude. Since 1885, many visitors have stopped by to say hi to Freddie and admire the fountain.